A long journey, overcoming many obstacles, capturing a monster, all in a day's play for two teams competing to destroy a crystal in the heart of their opponent's base. Launched in 2015 by a US company, the free game allows multiple players to fight each other online.
Most of the mobile games, you play on your own, but what happens in the games only happens to you. But in our case, like everything happens, is real time happening to you and also your friend and your enemy.
Yun is an exhibitor at this two-day mobile gaming event in Qiansha. He is looking for partners to develop games for the Asia market. At the event, a US market research company released a recent study. It estimates there's about 1.5 billion mobile game players globally. Together, they generated more than $25 billion in revenue in 2015. Half of the players are in the Asia Pacific, generating 56% of global revenue. Market revenue in China is estimated to be $5.01 billion, while Japan and Korea saw a combined $6.5 billion in business. The organizer of the event says nowadays, the majority of mobile games are free to download. Companies make money from so-called in-app purchases or through advertising. Will Robinson says he wanted to bring together developers and investors to create more business opportunities in the Asian market.
These are developers who are looking for investment. We've got here today, we've got over $130 million worth of investment there and ready to go.
This company sells the tag for a virtual reality experience. The founder says there are a lot of companies interested in using VR in their games. Are you open to cooperations with mobile game companies?
Oh, absolutely. Our company has a very good platform, allow them to showcase their game.
Will says some developers also need to find publishers to localize their games to fit new markets.
You need someone that understands every one of the markets and can help you to make your game a success.
This local mobile game company specializes in localizing products, like this military strategy game it licensed from mainland China. Each player builds a virtual city in ancient China. They need to protect their own city while trying to conquer the others at the same time.
My goal is to destroy the city, or as much as possible. This one is like a long-range shooter. It also plays a lot of small army.
Ernest uses the in-app purchase model. It's free to download and users can choose to pay for items like upgraded weapons or to shorten waiting times for more soldiers.
If I pay, I can build my army instantly.
Ernest says hardcore games are more profitable than what the industry refers to as casual games. Lighter in subject matter and are easier to play.
When a player plays against other players or a community, it encourages players to spend money because they feel the difference and the advantage they get through paying money. In theory, yes, the more you pay, the easier you get to win.
The company's CEO says most of the revenue comes from these in-app purchases. The Hong Kong version has 50,000 active users daily.
The percentage of users that are actually paying is still relatively low. Typically, it ranges from anywhere to 5 to 10%. So as a whole industry, I think there's a lot of room for us to grow.
The company published 8 titles last year. Most of its games are designed to play for short sessions. Hong Kong is its main market. Author says many Hong Kongers play mobile games during their daily commute.
They don't want to spend like one-time hours in playing one game, but maybe 10 to 15 minutes every time, so they actually can complete a few tasks.
This young man started to play mobile games as soon as he bought his first smartphone 8 years ago. He downloaded popular free games to explore what he liked. He has been playing this Texas poker game for 6 years.
The advantage is convenient.
and I can just click a button to join a table. And the play when I was on MTR, waiting for the MTR, or waiting for my friend.
He paid about 100 Hong Kong dollars in the past 2 years to purchase extra poker chips. He can buy 30,000 chips for 99 US cents. He says it's a little money for a lot of fun.
When I feel happy or depressed, I play in the game, I feel released.
This young man only plays casual mobile games during his 1-hour subway ride.
I don't play in my own leisure time. I think it is a waste of time. I have many other things to do exercises or take a rest. Usually I play the game for about 3 to 6 months, then I will move to another new game.
Engineering academic Wu Po Chi says, to create an appealing game, designers need to take consumer behavior into consideration.
The storytelling, it's part of other creative arts, and of course the psychological dynamics as well. It is the understanding of the behavior of game players to figure out, what is it going to attract them.
This local company designs casual mobile games to cater to a wide population. It launched 75 games last year.
Our emphasis is more on having the biggest possible audience rather than just trying to keep a small group of players for a very long period of time. And the reason is because that's very hard. And we find on mobile, people have a very short attention span.
This recently launched music game accesses a player's iTunes library.
You tap to the music of the beat and then you accumulate points and you can build things through that way. If you pay, you can increase the amount of progress you see within a shorter period of time.
The CEO says only 3 to 5% of the users made payments in the game. Advertising is another important source of the company's revenue. Ads pop out randomly, asking if the users would watch a video to get some benefits in the game.
If you build the game properly around the ads, it's a little bit like television. Everybody's used to the fact that you watch the show for 10 minutes, then you watch an ad for a minute, and then you go back to the program.
The Hong Kong market generates 15 to 20% of the company's revenue.
These global app stores, platforms such as Apple and Google, for example, allow us to reach customers around the world from Hong Kong.
Business intelligence company DigiCapital estimates that the total revenue of the global mobile game industry will grow to $45 billion by 2018. Half will come from Asia. Wu says Hong Kong needs to develop its local talent.
I would hope that the best games to inspire some of their young users, both to play the game and to want to eventually, some of them, contribute to this industry of creating new games.